I'll tell you. God will heal your illness. My mother's voice is low and pressing. Her eyes are certain but cold. I sit on the living room carpet, dizzy, feeling like the wind hollowed me out. Morning sunlight slants through the window, landing on the prophet's portrait hanging on the wall. They say it's a symbol of light, but all I see is white. I keep drinking water. The cup is refilled again and again. My palms are slick with cold sweat. Mother kneels beside the couch in prayer. Father clasps his hands over his chest. He murmurs scriptures over and over. He says this is a test. He says I must have faith. He says God will heal everything. I can't stand. My legs feel drained of strength. Every step I take, I brace against the wall. Mother won't let me go to the hospital. Father says hospitals are tools of the devil. I collapse onto the floor. The carpet soaks up my sweat. My breathing is shallow and frantic. I hear them calling for elders. No one calls an ambulance. The air is thick like damp cotton. The light is harsh and blurry. I feel like drifting dust. My body drains bit by bit. My fingers stiffen. My heart pounds like it will burst from my chest. Mother's prayers crash over me like a flood. Father's scriptures slice through my mind like cold wind. I feel myself collapsing, losing all support. Every breath feels like chewing sand. Shadows flash before my eyes. Inside them are flames. Their prayers. Their cold, absolute faith. I try to scream but no sound comes out. I want to move but can't. The world feels swallowed. Pain spreads through every nerve. I feel fear. Fear drowned by their prayers. Like a tide washing over me. My consciousness slips toward darkness. Every heartbeat reminds me death is near. I think I'll never wake up again. When I wake, I'm in a hospital bed. The ceiling lights are blinding. A clear tube is taped to my arm. I can feel the cold plastic on my skin. Every drip feels like a chill running through my veins. My uncle stands beside me. He grips my hand tightly. His eyes are red, full of anger and worry. His hands are warm and strong, telling me, wordlessly, I'm alive. The doctor's voice is calm and clear. He says I almost died. My blood sugar was dangerously high. My uncle tells me. He saw me collapse through the window. He called 911. He lifted me into the ambulance. Without my parents' permission. Without prayer. He just acted. For the first time I see in his eyes resolve. A resolve that cannot be refused. In that moment I feel safe. For the first time I know someone truly sees me as life. On discharge day, Father throws the medicine and needles into the fire. The flames reflect on his face. Like a curse. Mother stands nearby. Hands pressed together. Praying. Saying God is stronger than medicine. Saying faith is salvation. 3 days later, I fall sick again. Thirsty. Sweating. Dizzy. The world blurs into mist. They refuse medicine. Lengthen their prayers. Kneel on the floor. Hands on my head. They say it's an evil spirit. They say it's God's trial. The air is squeezed tight. My body feels like an empty shell. Blood flows slowly. Every breath is heavy. Every blink feels like facing death. The day my uncle bursts in. The sky outside is gray. He pushes the door open. No knock. He picks me up. I hear my mother screaming. I hear my father cursing. He ignores them. He runs downstairs. Drives. Heads to the hospital. He saves me a second time. I'm transferred to my uncle's home. The house is quiet. Outside, leaves rustle in the wind. The air is clean. He says this is protection. He says my parents are unreliable. He says faith shouldn't take life. For the first time I breathe freely. For the first time I feel seen. Court is cold. I wear a loose hospital gown. Mother's face is wet. Father's mouth still hard as ever. They say they have faith. They say faith is healing. The judge says it's a crime. The judge grants custody to my uncle. Uncle's home is quiet. The kitchen smells of coffee. He teaches me how to use injections, how to monitor my sugar. He lets me control my own body. He says faith shouldn't kill. He says living is more important than kneeling. He never forces belief. He just lets me breathe. I grow up. Go to college. Learn to care for myself. Learn not to forgive. They still pray. They still say I betrayed God. They come to court, claiming they want their grandson. They say they've changed. They say they won't reject medicine again. I don't believe them. I remember the fire. I remember the damp carpet. I remember the dryness in my throat. I remember their hands pressed together. That was never love. That was cold faith. A knife wrapped in prayer. I have a son. His name is David. His smile is like light. My wife holds my hand. She knows everything. She held him outside the delivery room. She says this is a new beginning. I believe it too. Until they show up again. With lawyers. With faith. They say they have rights. They say they are grandparents. They say they love the child. They say they won't make mistakes again. I sit in court. My palms are cold. But my heart is steady. Their first visits are gentle. They sing. Tell stories. They laugh. I laugh. I think they've changed. I think the past is over. But when they hang that silver cross around my son's neck, I know nothing has changed. They are still praying. Still trying to rewrite fate. Trying to remake me. Trying once again. To take a life with faith. I take the necklace off. Say coldly, this is our child. Not your believer. Their faces freeze. Mother's hands shake violently. Father's voice sharpens. He says I'm blocking salvation. He says I'm harming him. Not long after, David gets a cold. The doctor prescribes medicine. They ask me if it's necessary. Say prayer might be enough. Their eyes turn back to that same coldness of 15 years ago. Blind, indifferent, irrational. I stop all visitation. Their lawyers immediately intervene. Letters arrive. They demand visits. Demand custody. They say I don't understand faith. Say I'm a traitor. Say my child shouldn't grow up with a traitor. I'm not afraid. This time I have everything. Evidence. Records. Proof they once left a child unconscious. Proof they burned medicine. Proof of their cold denial of reality. I have my uncle. The one who pulled me back from death. They cry in court. Say they only wanted to pray. Say they only wanted to love their grandson. The judge's face is expressionless. Flipping through thick case files. Every page shows the scars they caused. Every page holds undeniable past. Their lawyers' voices weaken. Their eyes grow frantic. They realize faith is no longer a shield. They realize the world has changed. They realize I am no longer the child they controlled. I stand. Look at them. I don't yell. I just say, you chose faith before. Now I choose law. I choose life. You cannot touch him again. Their faces pale. Mother's eyes tremble. Father's lips quiver. They want to speak. But nothing comes out. For the first time, they are afraid. David plays outside. Sunlight on his hair. I hear his laugh. It's like wind drifting from afar. Clean. Warm. Free. No curse attached. I turn and leave the courtroom. Sweat dries on my palms. My steps steady as stone. 15 years ago I lay unconscious on the floor. Today I walk out tall. They've lost control. I've reclaimed my fate. They still pray. But it no longer affects me. They still tremble. But that's only their own faith. I have my life. I've given my child a path unbound by faith. I know the war isn't over. They won't give up easily. They'll keep writing letters. Keep threatening. But I also know, this time, no one can take my flesh and blood from me. The sun sets at the courthouse doors. My uncle leans against the wall. He smiles and gives me a thumbs up. Says this is what being alive feels like. I clench my fists. Breath is warm. Chest is warm. I did not kneel. I won. David runs to me. Smiling, arms wide. Sunlight falls on his shoulders. I hold him. And feel everything return. The future has light. The future has breath. The future is ours.